Greetings and welcome to the Rose Bush. I'm your host, Allie Rose. Welcome. Greetings and welcome to the Rose Bush. I am just here continuing on my storytelling with Ren. But first, because I have drum corps playing in the background, I just want to take a look at the schedule. So bear with me and hang out with me while I do this. If you don't know, let me know, because I know a lot of people that are subscribed and that watch my content are because of Ren, and you all are in the UK or on the other side of the world. I don't know how many people, I haven't looked, are actually in the US. But in the US, we have what's called Drum Corps International. It starts in the summertime, which is summertime here, but I guess if you're on the other side of the world, is it summertime? Yeah, it's summertime. Depends on where you're at. If you're in Australia, how's your winter going? Let me know. And by the time this is uploaded, maybe your winter's over. I don't know. But I am looking for the schedule because they're playing I'm in Florida. It's airing in California. So they're 3 hours behind. But I don't want to miss some things. So I'm just trying to see the schedule. Today is June 29th. And I'm just taking a look. Corps at the Crest. Which is California. Drum Corps International, like I said. I'm a band kid. I marched in marching band. Open. Listen, do y'all want to see what I'm looking at? This is what I'm looking at. Corps at the Crest. Okay, so what time is it right now? It's 9:50 my time, which means it's right here, intermission. But it sounds like something is playing on my TV. So then we got Vessel, we got Blue Devil CB, then we got Gold, then we got another intermission. Okay, good. This is really where I care about. This is really what I care about. 8:32. So 7 is 10. So this is 11. We got a long way to wait for the real good stuff, for the real good cores. Okay, now that I'm done BSing around, let's go ahead and move forward with our story time with Ren. And if you're new here, this is the Rose Bush. This is where growth happens, one thorn at a time. Here it is, my lovely sweater that I made. Took me a long time, okay? Because like I said, I have OCD and ADHD. And let me tell you, when I do crafts, there's really no telling which one is in the driver's seat. They're probably just fighting the whole time. Like, sidebar, I tried to do my nails. When I worked from home, I wasn't making a lot of money, so I had to give up some things, and part of that was my nails. And like, my nails are like there's like a longer story to that. I actually have a painting back here. You can't see it's blending in with my couch. But there's a painting back there. Maybe I'll just show it. Why not? This is my first painting. Okay, this is my first painting that I have ever done, and I call this, my actual name, my full government name is on the back, I think. No, just the title of the portrait is silly. It's not my name at all. Okay, this is the first painting that I ever did, and it's titled A Hexen Beast in Vienna. And this is actually really great because obviously these are my handprints. And we have some nails up here that spell out Vienna. They're all hand painted by me. I made this skull. I printed out a skull from the Google. And I traced it with hot glue. And then I painted it. And the impatientness of me just wanted to keep painting it, wanted to keep making it red before it dried. But anyway, that's my very first painting, and it's very important to me. It really symbolizes a lot, but I'm not going to really get into it right now. But anyway, I digress. We're done. I don't really know where I was going with that. I don't really know. Oh, I know where I was going. I was just talking about how long it took me to make this one thing because of the rose I decided on and how much a hard time I had cutting the vinyl. I think I need a new blade for my Cricut, but those things are expensive. They're expensive, okay? But I don't know. Maybe in the future, merch. I don't know. Would you buy this? Let me know. But in the meantime, check that description and send me an email. RoseCosmosWriter@gmail.com. Okay? And give me your stories. And as I keep saying, don't be jerks. Don't be jerks. Okay? I mean, a lot of the people here are not jerks. But I'm just saying, don't send me anything weird. And definitely don't send me no pictures of your private parts. What's wrong with you? Don't do that. Nobody wants to see that. We're not asking for it. We all know what it looks like. They all look the same. Some of them just go different directions. We don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want to see it. Don't send it to us. It's assault. It's unsolicited. It's assault, okay? I didn't consent. And speaking of assault, let's find out if Ren was assaulted. Because why was his anal virginity taken by an 80-year-old man? So let's find out. Let's find out. Let me move this because every video has subtitles. I'm so sorry that some of them got messed up. And you couldn't read them. I just didn't know. I didn't realize. So let's do it. Action.
During the year I spent living back with my mum, I was leaning even more heavily into scouring the internet for answers. It became like an obsession. Most people my age were watching porn. I was on PubMed learning about mitochondria. I educated myself in things like methylation, the building blocks of mitochondria, various immune cells and their functionality, and which supplements could help theoretically bring about homeostasis in my body. I taught myself of the various pathogens that could lead to the symptoms I was experiencing. Around this time, I started ordering medical test kits from private medical facilities. I had a eureka moment when, after posting some poop in a tube to a lab in London, I discovered I had an amoeba and another more benign gastrointestinal parasite called blastohominis. Both could plausibly lead to systemic pain and fatigue. Upon researching the best course of
sidebar, amoebas can kill you. I live in Florida, and oftentimes people get amoebas from swimming in lakes, and what happens is it'll go up their nose and it'll travel to the brain. And when that happens, it is literally a matter of minutes before it kills you. I feel like, gosh. I saw something recently, like a year ago, about amoebas and people contracting amoebas, and it, out of 4 or 5 people, I think maybe it was per year, out of 4 or 5 people that year, only one person survived because they got medical intervention in time. So yeah, I stay away from lakes just because I find lakes to be dirty, and I don't like algae. I don't like any of that seagrass touching me. I got weird texture issues. I think it's a sea monster coming to get me. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I digress. Let's rewind.
Discovered I had an amoeba and another more benign gastrointestinal parasite called blastohominis. Both could plausibly lead to systemic pain and fatigue. Upon researching the best course of action, I found this doctor in New York who was a world-renowned specialist in treating parasites. Return flights to New York, booked far enough in advance, were a couple of £100 back then. The treatment itself was pretty cheap. I was in no way in a strong financial position, and neither was my family, so I did what I always do when I needed to get money. I wrote and recorded some songs from my laptop from bed.
Okay. I'm just now realizing that when he says he lost his anal virginity to an 80-year-old man, he's talking about the stool transplant that he did, which inevitably leads to his psychosis. So yeah, he was assaulted. He was assaulted by that old man's poo. I'm jumping ahead, but this is obviously what he's talking about. I'm going to rewind it, so calm your shorts.
Enough in advance were a couple of £100 back then. The treatment itself was pretty cheap. I was in no way in a strong financial position, and neither was my family, so I did what I always do when I needed to get money. I wrote and recorded some songs from my laptop from bed. One about getting to New York to find a cure. I sold a modest amount of digital copies to my Facebook friends and my friends and family, just enough to afford a trip. During this time, my symptoms had gotten a lot worse, so the entire visit was a bit of a blur. I remember sitting in a waiting room and struggling to find an inch of wall space that wasn't taken up by the countless medical qualifications and the diplomas attached to it. I half expected the walls to start bragging about their Ivy League connections and debating the latest medical research while us mere mortals waited to be called in. When I was finally on the doctor's table, I was told to take off my clothes and put on a blue disposable paper robe. An old man in his 80s hobbled in, pulled on a medical glove, and proceeded to cover his finger in Vaseline. My heart sunk. I was pretty sure I knew what was coming next. I suddenly wished I'd experimented more with my ex-girlfriend. I didn't want to lose my backdoor virginity like this. He could have at least done me the courtesy of putting on some Marvin Gaye and lighting some candles, but instead I lay in uncomfortable silence on a brightly exposed operating table, while a firm-handed, overqualified old man inserted his index finger forcefully into my anus. He never wrote to me afterwards. I felt used. Nonetheless, I was officially diagnosed with a parasitic amoeba and given a course of heavy-duty antibiotics to take. I believe it was paramomycin and secnidazole. After the course was finished, I pooped into a tube again, and they confirmed I got rid of the parasites. The constant internal techno raves and gurgling which usually plagued my stomach ceased, but I felt just as crap. And on top of all of that, I started becoming allergic to everything. And I mean fucking everything. The antibiotics had triggered some sort of massive food intolerance reaction. Whenever I'd eat certain foods, I'd get hit with a sudden hangover-like feeling, and my face would swell up. I'd later learned this was something called MCAS, and it was triggered by the antibiotics. This was the first time I felt the crushing defeat of pinning a lot of money, hopes, and time into a treatment only for it to make me worse. I'd felt it to a small degree with every failed herbal protocol, every antidepressant that gave me side effects, but this was on a much larger scale. I almost felt guilty and full of shame for not getting better. I told my friends and family that this was going to be the thing that cured me. Not only did it fail, but I was now unable to tolerate basic carbohydrates, fruits, sugar, high histamine food, dairy, grains, without feeling terrible. I felt pretty crushed about that. Despite this, some tenacious part of me had a perseverance that didn't want to stop looking for answers. I was obsessed with trawling the internet. I strongly believe if I didn't have that tenacity to keep looking after every defeat, I'll probably be dead today. After about a year of living with my mum in North Wales, I got the itch, and I decided that I'd make a bold move to Brighton. Most days I didn't really have the energy to do much other than short walks, but I had a friend over there who lived with ME for years. It felt like a safe space, a place of understanding. Being a 23-year-old living with his mother didn't feel very cool either. He had a free room going, and he was a legend. I desperately craved my own independence. After going through the heartbreak of losing love and losing the exciting career opportunity, I needed to feel like I wasn't just sitting in the tomb in Wales waiting for death, even if it was a struggle. I made the move. It was a really nurturing space, and it was full of the lunatics of Brighton who would come and go. I was still living in a thick haze, but I was meeting people who weren't judging me for it. With this safety, I was slowly finding my personality again. Despite the comfortable environment, it seemed my symptoms were only getting worse. I started having pretty constant panic attacks. The first one felt like a heart attack. I'd never experienced a panic attack before, so I wasn't familiar with the symptoms. My whole face went numb, and my heart felt like it was about to beat out of my ribcage. I panicked and I phoned an ambulance. They put me in the back, they took all my vitals, and they told me I wasn't dying. I felt disappointed. These attacks would happen pretty habitually every week or so. My symptoms of derealization seemed ever increasing. Derealization is hard to describe to someone who's never experienced it. The closest thing I can come to is feeling like you're on bad drugs. You feel disconnected from yourself, like your soul has been vacuumed out of your body and nothing around you quite feels real. Everything has an unusual undertone and nothing feels safe. I remember one night in the first year that I lived with Ben, there was this lightning storm of torrential rain. I went outside and I stood in a t-shirt hoping I'd be hit by a bolt of lightning and it would somehow shock me out of it. Unfortunately, I wasn't on Zeus's hit list that day. This urge to be shocked back into reality didn't really leave me. I remember one day I was walking back from the shops. I found an old analog television in an alleyway that was being thrown out. I can't quite remember the thought process that led me there. I just remember feeling angry, and I decided to smash the fucking pieces out of the TV in the alley. I picked it above my head and I hurled it towards the ground. The screen cracked, but it didn't shatter like I hoped it would. I did it again and again and again until there were large shards of glass lining the street. I saw one about the size of a kitchen knife and I picked it up. It's hard to rationally explain self-harm that's not a cry for help, because this wasn't a cry for help. I'd cried for help multiple times and no one listened. The pain I felt inside my body could never be done justice with words. There's a certain horror, a certain frustration of living in a body that would never give me a moment of peace. I felt constantly alienated. I had no doctors to tell me what was going on. They made me feel like a hypochondriac. There are no combination of words in the English language that can express that pain, that can express that frustration. There's no song I could write that would make you understand. In that moment, the closest and truest way I had of communicating my pain was driving a shard of glass into my chest and dragging it across until the blood was dripping down my body. It didn't hurt very much compared to what was already going on inside of me, and it didn't really help me feel better either, but it was truth, and there was beauty in that. Adrenaline gives you a brief moment of respite, but it wasn't long until I was exactly where I started, just decorated in a little bit more blood than usual. I made sure nobody saw. I didn't want to cause any alarm. I didn't want anyone to be worried. So I cleaned it up when I got home, and then I resumed the life of the undead. In the next episode, I'll tell you the story of when I was stabbed by an ancient sword and when I met one of the most talented people that I know.
I got tears on my sleeves, hold on, and holes in these jeans, hold on. I haven't slept in weeks, hold on. I haven't found no peace, hold on. I get my teeth tied, hold on, and these tears run dry, hold on. Two bloodshot eyes, hold on, two bloodshot eyes. I don't belong here, in a place where life has left me. I'm 25 going on 150. My body feels old and I'm trying to lift the weight from my soul, but it's moving against me. I've emptied out my theodox, I lift my middle finger up, I'm screaming fuck you to all the demons here that keep me stuck. The pain is sharp like paper cuts, I hate too much, but yes I trust. I must combust, I must blow up, I must roll this courage up. Boom, sparks fill the room, I'm feeling the rhythm I move. My soul is more worn than the soles in my shoes. Nike trainer blues, a man with none to lose. I think I lost my sanity, calamity in shoes. Poor choice maker, I rip out the pages of fate, then I roll them up like bizzle of paper. Taker, lung full of destiny, a man with no part is a very strange entity. Tears on my sleeves, hold on, and holes in these jeans, hold on. I haven't slept in weeks, hold on. I haven't found no peace, hold on. I get my teeth tied, hold on, and these tears run dry, hold on. Two bloodshot eyes, hold on, two bloodshot eyes. Do you ever question question your fate. The questions I'll make, is this all predetermined, the script or a play? Am I the protagonist in this tragedy, or will I be the author of stories unmade? If so, I'll dip in my quill to my ink pot, keep on writing, never stop until my beating heart it flops. I'll write a whole different story. Scene one, a boy full of hope, a boy full of glory. Who stutters, I'm up to the top. Would rather be tougher and live it smoothly like butter, but not so bitter from cut up. And so I sit up and shut up. It's like I lit up and struck up the coverage, never to fuck up. And now I'm feeling the ruckus, feeling the static, and now I'm feeling the flames, and now I'm feeling the strength inside the ring with my pain. My boxing gloves and my hope that I trust to bust an uppercut, cut my demons up. What? Beam like a tsunami, smooth like a punani, bend the birds like origami, Salvador, I be the Dali. Only love like Bob Marley, golden ticket, call me Charlie, riding Harley's Bengali, tiger star, call me Arnie. I'll be back. Now cut the slack, track your facts, relax, shit in the beast, and then seek it in the peace. And I'll reach the canopies, and yes, we climbing, building a brave new world inside a whole new designing. With all this fire, we burn like the sun. A new dawn is rising, a new dawn it comes. Yeah, diggity diggity down with all this corporation. They burn up the land for the greed that they run. Run deep with their roots, but their roots can be lifted. I'll be a renegade, yes, I'll make a fist kid. Try to seek truth in the kingdom of lies. A boy so lost with two bloodshot eyes. Tears on my sleeves, hold on. And holes in these jeans, hold on. I haven't slept in weeks, hold on. I haven't found no peace, hold on. I get my teeth tied, hold on. And these tears run dry, hold on. Two bloodshot eyes, hold on. Two bloodshot eyes. Ha, ha, ha. Hold on. Hold on. Ha, ha, ha. Hold on. Hold on. Two bloodshot eyes. Hold on. Hold on. Two bloodshot eyes.
It's a good song.
Woo.
It's a good song. Yeah. Pretty friggin' good song. Let me tell you. Okay, so I didn't expect that he had amoeba in his booty hole. I thought that was going to be the story about the poop transplant, which led to his psychosis, which who knows? I mean, we got 4 more chapters to go, so who knows what he's going to talk about. I think no matter where you are, who you are, there's something that you can relate to in his stories. And if you can't relate at all to anything that he's gone through, then I guess you're just one lucky SOB. And if that be the case, don't take your life for granted. Spread the love. And spread the happiness. Because you are a lucky one. And you're the last of the real ones. And with that, I leave you to continue on with chapter 5. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching and sticking around with me on the Rosebush. I really, really appreciate your time. I'm grateful for it because it's yours and chose to be here with me. So thank you. Take care.